Relatives waiting for the body of Sunakim. 10 days ago, the 32-year-old became the face of the worst attack in Indonesia since 2009. He was photographed shooting into a crowd at one of Jakarta's busiest intersections. 4 members of the public were killed in that day's attack. Just 5 months earlier, Sunakim had been released from prison, where he was serving a term for attending an armed training camp in Aceh.
When he came out of prison, we offered him to live here, although our house is very small. We tried hard to give him a new place. We even built a temporary small house for him, but he refused. So even if we would have been angry at him, if we would have tied him to a pole, he would probably still have done the same thing.
Sunakim last visited his family just 10 days before the attack. During his years in prison, Sunakim refused to take part in the government's so-called de-radicalization program. He even managed to secure an early release. His case tragically shows the failure of Indonesia's prison system to prevent radicalization of prisoners, and also the failure to rehabilitate those convicted for terrorism. Authorities admit they lose track of prisoners soon after their release, even those who are known to be high risk. In the past 2 years, an estimated 130 prisoners jailed for such offences have been released.
We have not been able to re-educate Sunakim because he refused all our effort. He was released before we could get more information about him. The prison authorities should have watched him after his release. But there are so many things we have to do before we knew it. This attack had already happened.
The police have announced that 6 men suspected in connection with last week's attack are still in prison, but were able to communicate with the attackers.
There's so much wrong with the prison system, it will take years to fix, but there's some things that could be done immediately. For example, no effort has yet been made to ban mobile phone communication, and that should be something that's quite simple to do.
Meanwhile, in Subang, Sunakim's family had to face fellow villagers who were angry about what he did. After some discussion, village leaders have decided his body can be buried in the village.
As a family, we want to apologize to those involved in what happened. To the victims and others, please forgive us. We apologize for what happened.
Besides tightening the prison system, the government has announced that Indonesians who have joined ISIL in Syria may lose their nationality. VAESSEN, Al Jazeera, Subang, West Java.